Hey, you guys, welcome. Welcome to Detox tonight. Let me know as you're getting settled if you have any questions, if you want to share anything about what your body is feeling like or anything on your mind. Use the live chat function on the YouTube video and let me know. Hi, Brian Boone. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, last night, Roz, Ari was saying a lot of emotion, a lot of frustration. Got so angry with stillness. Um, Last night was something. I was feeling it too. It's interesting when you're the one guiding the experience and you're also in it at the same time, and your mind's going, "What have I done? Why am I doing this?" So know that it's working equally on all of us. It doesn't discriminate, but there is a subtle difference. If you guys are entertaining possibly the challenges of staying on your mat, when you're guiding, you're the only person that, even though you don't know where it's going, it's not prefabricated and laid out in that way, at least the way I like to teach. Um, you're still the only one that has, an inkling and so much more awareness around that. Um, you guys may certainly feel, hopefully, the trust, and so that you're held in that space. But the uncertainty is just mirroring the essence of life. And so the more that you can sit in it, and I know it's easy to run from it, it's easy to label it and put something, or try to make it right or wrong. But the more that you can just sit in it, the better it is. Yeah, for sure, Roz. Just be gentle. So if you guys are feeling this stuff, typically at detox class, I would be able to connect with you on your way out of the studio. It is going to open a lot of your body up, and it's important to be gentle. Be aware of what you're feeling. If you need to, you can always send me an email or a message anytime. It's all good. Hi, Derek. And since we got a pretty regular crew going on, I'm going to invite you. I always suggest having a yoga block and having that by your mat if you have one. If not, no worries. You can roll up a blanket, you can roll up a towel and have that, excuse me, alongside your mat. But the invitation is to also, okay, go, and if you have one in your home, get a broom that has could be a wooden broomstick. Just, we're going to use the broomstick. We're not actually going to use the broom. If you have one. If not, I think the second best thing, if you don't have a broomstick, would be a thin towel, and then you roll the thin towel up as tightly as you can until it's about an inch in diameter. Yes, big deep breath, Ari, for sure. Welcome back. Hi, Roxanne. And thank you. I appreciate the consistency of all of you. It's really what life has kind of taught me is that if you could do something consistently, if something in your curiosity calls you to be consistent with it, I talked about this, I don't know how many classes ago, but that framework can really free up our souls so that it can dance. Otherwise, we're just constantly confronting stress and reaction. So consistency and with some passion puts in a framework, kind of like the branches of the tree without the leaves. And then your soul starts to dance, and then the leaves start to grow, and then the leaves fall off, and then they grow again, depending on what kind of tree it is. You get the idea. Tanya and Teddy. Hey, if anybody missed my invitation to get a broomstick, if you have one, set that alongside of your mat. I know if there's two of you, would you have two broomsticks in the house? Maybe not. We actually do. Could let you borrow one, or just get a thin towel and tightly roll that towel up. Tightly roll it up until it's about an inch in diameter, and have that set along your side. Hey, Robert. Hi, Kat. Nice to see you guys. And we got about 3 minutes till we start practice. And getting your space set up, and the only addition is the possibility of having a broomstick or a tightly rolled towel alongside of you. We're going to open up, well, how would I tell you now? I haven't told you anything up to this point, so I guess we'll just keep rolling with that. Hi, Sherry. Good evening. You are welcome for the flow class this morning. We made it all the way through. We figured out we had a little camera issue yesterday, and the class cut out with like 15 minutes to go. So it just happened to be the plug on my camera, which is charging it on the wall. The actual plug went bad, so figured it out, and we should be good to go. I guess one class that cut out, and some buffering along the way, which I think we figured out the buffering issues too. It's been pretty good, knock on wood. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start the playlist on the Earbuds Music app. And so if you're on the live stream, you're gonna see that pop up. And the playlist should also be out there on Spotify if you want to join. Start your playlist now on Spotify. Hi, Amy. And those of you that are just joining, the only added, have your normal things that you would have for detox, but also if you have a broomstick, okay, go get your broom. If you don't, a thin towel rolled up really tight until it's about an inch in diameter. Hi, Leslie. And then once you get your volumes, I'll give you guys a minute or so if you're going to collect that broomstick or the towel. And then once you're back towards your mat, just go ahead and lie down in Shavasana. We'll start there. I mean, what a cool thing we get to do. What a great opportunity. I know how these days have spread out and how time has really vanished. Even if you're working and you're out and about, it's really, I think, enriched our perspectives and possibly even shifted our perspectives around time. So pretty cool that we get to do this, pretty fortunate, and that we have the space to do this. And so let's keep on sending as much loving kindness and awareness into those that are, on the front lines, right? Let go of the rhetoric and the constant debate. This is what human beings do. And let go of all of that, and purely, intentionally, and wholeheartedly, and you send out loving kindness and awareness as you continue to breed that within you. And so hopefully you're back on your mat now. Volumes are set up. I'm going to join you guys in Shavasana. If you want to have something under your head, sometimes it's nice and to release across the back of the neck and the top of the shoulders. So you could have a rolled up blanket or a towel, or I have my vintage Deacon yoga block that was handmade. You can set your head there, let your chin settle towards your chest, and it's okay if you're flat to the mat, all good. And find your comfortable place, and wherever you want to set your feet, and wherever you'd like to set your arms. And you might take a deeper breath and a light sigh, and then begin to release your breath. And as you release your breath, follow suit by closing your eyes. And as you close the eyes, follow suit, and by letting your shoulders and your hips be heavy. And hopefully you're all seeing how unique each one of these experiences are. And also how you really can't anticipate or predetermine what your experience is going to be like. And whatever your head may be resting on is totally fine. Just begin to rock in the back of the head, side to side a few times. All right, let your head come back to center and soften. And soften the muscles in your belly and your chest, and then release into another space of your spine, so your low back is as heavy as your shoulders. And keep letting your belly button soften towards the front of your spine. And if you're holding on to any angst, and heck, to a certain degree, we're all holding on to some style of trauma and something that has happened in our lives. And so, this practice doesn't have to be about the past. It doesn't have to be about the future. It doesn't have to be about COVID-19. It can just be in service, in space to all of us. And Keep your back flat and go ahead and bend your legs. Bring your feet flat onto the mat, please. And so at first it's going to feel like thread the needle. Take your left ankle to your right thigh. And this may be enough. A little figure four with your left leg. And if you feel some pulls into your low back, into your outer hips, and you're more than welcome to stay right here. We're just getting started. But the other option is to take your right hand to your left ankle and then start to slide your heel. It's up your thigh, but it's down towards your chest. So your heel comes towards your hip crease. If you're with me, your right hand is on your left ankle. And then all we're going to do either way, and that left leg stays where it is, and we begin to slowly straighten and your right leg back onto the mat. And this is naturally going to roll and your left knee towards the ground, so away from your chest. And it's like you're in a half lotus on your back. I'm not pulling with my right hand, I'm just connecting the fingers to the ankle. And see if you get any feels into your left knee. And see if it's done anything like rupturing your breath or spiking your breath. Imagine if you had a heart rate monitor on. Ideally, our heart rate and throughout the entire experience is relatively close to the baseline. Not a lot of peaks, not a lot of valleys, not nearly anything like you would normally experience in a flow class. Maybe a few ripples along the way through transitions, but then that line is going straight across. If you want to test that out and you have an Apple Watch, you could set your Apple Watch to acknowledge your pulse. And then after the class, take a picture of it and send it to me. Sometimes I have people doing that for the flow classes. They'll wear the Apple Watch, it'll pick up their heart rate, and it'll literally show the peaks and the valleys and the waves of the flow. And pretty much exactly in what we were teaching and how we were teaching. And you'll see those waves of energy moving through the body based on the heart rate. Here tonight, and really slow, really steady, and even unintentional. If you really want to make it interesting, you stop trying to manipulate any part of the experience with your mind and make it unintentional. Let's keep it chill here. We'll settle in some silence and some stillness for a period of time. Everybody take it nice and slow. All you do is just start to slide your right foot back onto the mat. And take your right foot flat. And let your left heel slide down the leg, up away from your chest. And you interlace the fingers on the back of your left hamstring. And then we're going to slowly lift and to kick the left heel towards the ceiling. And tonight we're going to prioritize the left leg being completely straight. And to do that, we'll keep the right leg bent. And softness in the sole of your right foot. And if it's really tight in your hips and you don't have something under your head, that's why it might be a good idea to have something under your head. You notice when you take a deeper breath, it'll fill your chest. And let your mind journey and meander through the pelvis and the legs and whatever you might be feeling in your thigh tonight. This is simply a transitional moment on your way to a half-happy baby. And so start to bend your left leg. You can release your hamstring, bring your left arm through your inner thigh, and then grab the outside edge of your left foot. You find it through the orientation of your thigh bone coming into your pelvis. If you want your knee a little bit wider or a little closer, don't worry about what it looks like. And then nice and easy, we can start to take your right leg and let it go straight or towards straight, and without forcing it back onto your mat here. And close your eyes and you should get some feedback in tonight and how your heart's feeling. How your heart's flowing, if your vision is flowing through your heart, or if you've been caught up with seeing the world through your eyes. And you say your body's just so tight, this isn't working out too well. That towel that you have with you, you can wrap it over the sole of your left foot and then hold both ends of the towel with your left hand. And you're just making your arm a little bit longer using the towel. And so be creative and be intuitive. And meet yourself in a place in where you can acknowledge any discomfort, but still blossom from a place in that is loving kindness and awareness. And if you get too wrapped up in the story tonight, your mind's just going nuts inside of yourself, and simply repeat loving kindness and awareness. Loving kindness and awareness. Loving kindness and awareness. So you got that tool if you need it. Awesome, you guys. Let your left leg begin to bend. And heel towards your bum. And then just go ahead and release your left foot or your ankle or your towel. And let your left leg go long. And bring your hands back to rest onto your belly. If you need a subtle adjustment in your shoulders and where your head's at, you can take that and then feel this release. As you're in the energy of your practice, anytime you find it well suited to let out a sigh, right? Even a moan or a groan, sometimes even something a little bit louder, like a yawn, something audible, but without words. And let's go ahead and bring our feet back onto the mat. Always moving slowly in the transitions of your body in detox. When you get your feet flat, and we're going to take your right ankle to your left thigh, just above the knee, and that can be enough. Just depends. This is very intuitive. This is not forcing a shape with your body. That can be enough. And if your body is showing you that there's more space, then take your left hand onto your right ankle and start to slide the heel up the thigh, which means closer towards your chest and towards your hip crease. And then keep your right leg wherever it is. And nice and easy, start to let your left leg go straight out onto the mat. As the leg goes straight, your right hip is going to externally rotate, and the knee is going to fall away from the chest and go towards the ground beneath you. It might feel dramatically different than the other side, and let that be. Relax in the breath, be still. Let's take about 1 more minute in this shape, please. Even though these positions may present certain challenges, it's not uncommon and to feel pure ecstasy and joy at the same time. Sometimes you might even get the giggles and you'll have no idea why. And take it nice and easy. All you do is start to slide your left foot back onto the mat. And keep your low back heavy. And take your hand through, interlace the fingers on the back of your right hamstring. And then slide your right heel up towards the ceiling. And you want the right leg to go straight. And hence we're keeping the left leg bent. And your hips heavy. Feel the hamstring into your hands tonight. And it's good stuff if you can feel a heartbeat into your hamstring in your hands right now. Okay, start to bend your right leg, bring your heel down, and then right hand through the inner thigh. Let's grab the outside of your right foot. Fingertips on the sole. And it's enough there for half happy baby. Start to slide your left leg back straight onto the mat. Especially if the hips and the legs are tight, it's very helpful to have something underneath your head. And then start to chill with a loving kindness and awareness. And begin to learn and that your intensities and things that fire you up, the places and that you're willing to go and take you deeper, may help you see yourself and more clearly, with a voice and with a passion, with a heart. can start to let your right heel come towards your bum. You can release the foot from your hand. And close the eyes, let your legs go out straight. You rest your hands and let that smile come across your face. And see the light in behind your eyes, and we are celebrating joy. And we are celebrating the unintentional element of being in the moment, of taking all the pressure off. All right, you guys, bend your legs, bring your feet back onto the mat. And slide whatever you may have underneath your head out. And let your head come down and roll through your left side. And make your way all the way around to all fours. And you set up with your right foot forward. And take your mat and double pad underneath your left knee, or use your blanket or your towel. And set a wider base in so your right foot can heel toe out a couple times. And put a little pigeon toe to your front foot. And then walk your hands up onto your right thigh. Ooh, keep your chins heavy. And find the awareness, and with as little strength as possible, and feeling your right heel into the mat, and for balance. And then your right hand is going to stay on your thigh, and you're going to float your left arm up towards the ceiling. And you can do all of this without really activating much strength at all. And if it's too much, and to keep your hand up, you feel like you're strengthening, holding on too much, then just rest your left hand on the top of your head. Either way. If you have enough of your balance and you're willing to explore, you can close your eyes, and you're going to feel these little and gentle shifts and sways going on through your body as you discover your center of gravity. Enjoy that. welcome to stay right where you are. Okay, or you're welcome to take both arms up for the last minute. And keep your eyes closed. And let your spirit float up and towards the sky. And last 10 seconds. And observe 2 more breaths. And then you can gently begin to open your eyes. And start to let your arms come back down towards the ground. And feel all of this in your legs, in your hips, in your back. You touch the ground. You start to slide your hips back and bring your right foot behind you. And release the mat or move the blanket underneath your left knee. Let it roll back out. And then let's just take a little break here. Keep your hips where they are. And come down onto your forearms. And like a half puppy pose, tailbone lifts. And let your belly drop. Take any weight out of your SI joints. And it might feel nice and to move your head around a little bit side to side, but everything is really slow and with a lot of patience and a lot of joy, unforced, of course. And consider it this way, physically you may not be looking forward to the next side, but spiritually you might be so open and so curious that your excitement overrides any inhibitions and that you may have, that you may be holding on to tonight, because you want to see what happens. Or see if nothing happens. That'd be the best if nothing happens. Make your way back up to your palms. And let's bring your left foot forward in between your hands. And we can pad the right knee. And for most people, the kneecap is quite sensitive, so you can lift and double pad your mat. You can use a blanket or your towel, and then broaden your base a little bit. So move your left foot out, and slight pigeon toe to the foot, and then bring your hands up onto your left thigh. And chin stays heavy. And it's not like you're driving yourself down into the lunge. You're finding a place where you can feel that little sway in your center of gravity. And then settling around something that isn't even complete stillness. Complete stillness is a fabrication of the mind. Even when we're remotely still, there's so much movement and so much flow, and then we can explore. Keep your left hand where it is, and then you can start to bring your right arm up towards the sky. If that is too much, again, right hand can settle on the top of your head. It's a crazy oppositional feeling when you're in a pose like this and there's all of these sensations and weight grounding into your mat, but you really start and to delineate and that energy that is lifting you up. And it's like a cloudy day. It's been cloudy all day. And then out of nowhere, the clouds start to clear and you break through into the blue sky, to the sunshine. It's that type of feeling. You are totally fine to stay where you are. And if you'd like to add on for the last minute, then take both arms up towards the sky. And last 10 seconds, take a couple breaths here. And feel all the sensations in your body. And then slowly bring your eyes back into the space. And start to bring your hands back down towards the ground. You notice there's no rush. And start to slide your hips back. And slide your left foot back. You make your way to all fours and you can unpad your right knee, unroll your mat. Feel a sigh. Softness on your face should feel good. Come down onto your elbows once again. Little half puppy pose, tailbone up. Flutter your lips, relax your jaw. So the next thing we're going to do is to really see in what you're feeling in your heart tonight. And it's going to take anything that you're holding on to, not from today, not from yesterday, but all the way up to this point in your life, and it's going to bring it to the forefront of your heart, hopefully. And come back up onto your palms. And then remember the request for that broomstick, or that rolled up towel. That's about 1 inch in diameter. So you're going to take your broomstick, and from all fours, you're going to slide it in behind your knees. So right up in behind your knees. You kind of get it going across, and then reach in between your legs, and then pull it up nice and tight. So hold on to the broomstick, and then slowly and start to bring your bum back down towards your heels. Okay, you might have to pause once you start to feel the sensation. You don't want to push down on the broomstick. And then bring both hands out in front. Okay, pause once you start to feel the sensations in the back of your legs into your calves. I say it's going to reveal anything and that you're clenching in your body, but your effort is around softening and through those sensations and keeping your shoulders relaxed, your tongue soft. And then you can either keep your hands on the mat, or you can start to sit all the way back onto your heels. And bring your hands onto your knees, or even your forearms onto your thighs. Some of you, if you're not feeling it that much, you can just sit with your torso straight up, relax your hands on your thighs, and bow your chin into your chest. We're here. Loving kindness and awareness. And relax the face. Feel the heart. Feel the belly. There might be emotion, tears coming out of your eyes, but let it guide you into a joyous occasion of what you're releasing, not why you're releasing it. One more minute here. Oh, 30 seconds. Stay with me. Last 10 seconds, and you can open your mouth. You release an audible sound. Without reacting to anything that has come up while you're in this position. In loving kindness and awareness, start to bring your hands back onto the mat. And then even slower, start to bring your hips forward. And feel the letting in behind your knees. And take your right hand, grab your broomstick and slide it out. And once you got that set aside, or your towel, let's just release all the way down onto our belly slowly. And get ready for a huge embrace from Mother Earth. And the biggest hug. And set your hips, set your pelvis, and take your arms out into any shape. And set your belly, set your chest, and then set your head all the way down onto the ground. I hope it felt divine to receive that hug tonight. Take a deeper breath, and then you can start to lift your head back up. Slide your elbows in. And then slowly crawl your way back to a tabletop. And we're just going to crawl the knees forward a bit. You rock off onto your left hip, and so that we can set up for a half rabbit pose. And bring your feet around in front of you. This heart tonight should be a restored heart. You know, there's been some intensity through the practice, but only so that we can find the joy and the beauty of this life right now. And with your legs bent, take your right arm behind your right knee, and fingers over your left shin. Left arm behind your left knee, and fingers over your right shin. And little steps, heels come in closer to your bum. A soft belly. And you can roll your shoulders out like a figure eight a couple times here. And then from your center, go ahead and release. And let yourself fall back. And let your chin come down towards your chest. Ever have that dream before where you're screaming but there's no noise coming out? In your dream, you're screaming or shouting as loud as you can, but nobody can hear you. There's no noise coming out. And check out this state of your existence right now. This is what we're doing. This is what's being done to us. This is sitting in the stream and just letting the water rush over you. And it's a purifying practice. And it's resolved through forgiveness. Less hate, less judgment, and more acceptance of our flaws and the beauty, and that this life is perfectly imperfect, and we're okay with that. And this is just one side, so slowly roll yourself up through your torso. Just enough, and to switch the wrist, put the other hand on top. And then you can lean back once again, soft belly, and shoulders in their sockets. And let your chin drop into your chest. Tonight's the night. And why the heck not? What are you carrying it for? Nobody else cares. Nobody else is taking the responsibility of what they may have put and stored of their own stuff inside of you. So move on, acknowledge, trust, forgive, and move on. And keep your eyes closed the entire time if you can. And begin to roll yourself back up through your spine. And release your hands from your shins. And scooch forward a little bit if you need to. And with your eyes closed, go ahead and release down onto your back. Okay, lie all the way down. Eyes closed. Jaw soft. To the expansion of your heart. To the elimination or the lessening of your fury. Right? And the fury, this is the fury of your desires, the fury of your wants, and all that extra energy that you're clenching and carrying around because you want something, because you want to be better. It can be positive. And feel what it's like in your heart when all of that is broken apart, or at least vanished into the slightest degree in these moments. When you relax on your back and you realize, heck, the sequence of life really isn't all that complicated. When you start seeing it as one breath at a time. And for whatever reasons and that you may think, or you may question that approach, one breath at a time, please send me those reasons. Write it down in an email, put it in a message, send it to me. I welcome you all to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Thank you all for falling into this unintentional space tonight and to explore the love and the kindness and the openness through our awareness, loving kindness and awareness. And through your body and with your mind. And wherever else in your journey and your adventure may have taken you tonight. Thank you. Thank you for your consistency. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. And hope to see you all tomorrow morning for our 10 a.m. practice in flow. And have a beautiful night, everybody. Namaste.